Jeff Bezos fired his own grandmother's nurse to save $17 an hour. Steve Jobs told his engineers their work was garbage, then made them rebuild it 6 times. Elon Musk laid off 50,000 people via email on a Friday night, and all 3 became the richest men on Earth. Here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Nice guys don't finish last. They never even get in the race. What I'm about to show you will destroy everything you believe about success, morality, and what it really takes to reach the top. Because while you've been playing by rules that don't exist, others have been using psychological warfare to build empires on your back. Today, you're going to learn why ruthlessness isn't just helpful for success, it's absolutely required. And more importantly, how to develop this skill without losing your soul in the process. But I'm warning you now. Once you understand these principles, you can't go back to naive thinking. You'll see the world as it really is, not as you wish it were. And that knowledge, it changes everything. Let me start with a story that will shock you. In 1977, a 22-year-old college dropout walked into a boardroom full of investors. They laughed at him, called his idea stupid, said he'd never amount to anything. That young man looked each investor in the eye and said 6 words that would haunt them forever. You'll regret this for the rest of your lives. His name was Steve Jobs. Those investors, they missed out on the most profitable company in human history. But here's what's really disturbing. Jobs remembered every single one of their names, and over the next 30 years, he systematically destroyed their careers. Not through violence, not through illegal tactics, through pure, calculated ruthlessness. This is the story they don't teach you in business school. Success isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the most ruthless. But what exactly is ruthlessness? Most people think it means being cruel, heartless, or evil. That's completely wrong. Ruthlessness is the ability to pursue your objectives without being deflected by pity, sentiment, or social pressure. It's emotional detachment in service of a larger goal. And here's what they'll never tell you. Every single person at the top of any industry has mastered this skill. Every billionaire, every world leader, every successful entrepreneur. They've all learned to make decisions based on logic and strategy, not on feelings and social expectations. Why? Because the top is a different world with different rules, and those rules are brutal. At the bottom, people make decisions to be liked. In the middle, people make decisions to be safe. But at the top, people make decisions to win. And winning often requires sacrificing relationships, comfort, and popular opinion. Let me give you the 5 levels of ruthlessness that separate winners from everyone else. Level 1. Ruthless with your time. Warren Buffett once said the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. But most people are terrified of saying no. They're afraid of hurting feelings, missing opportunities, or appearing rude. Here's the reality. Your time is the only resource you can never get back. Every minute you spend on someone else's priorities is a minute stolen from your own success. Ruthless people understand this. They say no to good opportunities so they can say yes to great ones. Bill Gates doesn't take meetings with people who can't help him achieve his mission. Oprah doesn't read emails from people outside her inner circle. Jeff Bezos doesn't answer phone calls from anyone who isn't critical to Amazon's success. They've learned what most people never understand. Being available to everyone makes you valuable to no one. Level 2. Ruthless with relationships. This is where most people fail. They keep toxic people in their lives because they feel guilty about cutting them off. They maintain friendships that drain their energy because they don't want to seem cruel. They stay in romantic relationships that hold them back because they're afraid of being alone. But successful people think differently. They regularly audit their relationships and eliminate anyone who doesn't contribute to their growth. They understand that you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So they're extremely selective about who gets access to their mental and emotional energy. Jim Rohn said it best. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If those 5 people are complainers, dreamers, or mediocre thinkers, guess what you become? Ruthless people surround themselves only with winners. They network up, never down. They associate with people who challenge them, inspire them, and open doors for them. Everyone else gets removed from their circle. This sounds harsh. When you have a clear mission, ruthless decisions become easier because you have a framework for evaluating every choice. Second, think long-term. Most ruthless decisions feel bad in the short term, but pay off massively in the long term. Train yourself to optimize for 5 years from now, not 5 minutes from now. Third, separate people from positions. You can disagree with someone's ideas, reject their proposals, or even fire them from their job while still respecting them as a human being. Ruthlessness is about business, not personal attacks. Fourth, develop emotional regulation. Practice making decisions when you're calm, not when you're angry, scared, or guilty. The best ruthless decisions come from a place of clarity, not emotion. Fifth, start small. Begin by being ruthless with small things. Say no to time wasters. Eliminate toxic relationships. Make decisions quickly. Build the muscle before you need it for bigger challenges. But here's what I want you to understand most of all. The world is already ruthless. The question isn't whether you're going to encounter ruthlessness. The question is whether you're going to be the one wielding it or the one suffering from it. Every day, someone is making ruthless decisions that affect your life. Your boss decides your salary based on what they can get away with paying you, not what you deserve. Your competitors are working nights and weekends to take your customers. Your industry is evolving whether you keep up or not. You can choose to be naive and pretend that playing nice will protect you. Or you can accept reality and develop the skills you need to win. Because here's the final truth. Ruthlessness isn't the opposite of morality. It's the foundation of effectiveness. And in a world where only effective people get to make the rules, being ineffective isn't just unprofitable, it's irresponsible. The people at the top aren't there because they're lucky. They're there because they were willing to make the hard decisions that everyone else avoided. They were willing to be disliked in the short term to be respected in the long term. So ask yourself this question. What ruthless decision have you been avoiding? What hard choice do you need to make that you've been putting off because it feels uncomfortable? Your success is waiting on the other side of that decision, but it requires you to stop being nice and start being effective. The choice is yours, but choose quickly, because while you're debating, someone more ruthless is already building the empire you could have had. Remember, nice is a luxury you can afford once you reach the top. But ruthlessness, that's how you get there in the first place.